Hello and welcome to the Two Dyspraxics, episode 24. My name is Matthew Munson.
And I'm Barbara Neill.
And today we're going to be talking about the social model of disability versus the medical model of disability, specifically as it relates to, as you can imagine, dyspraxia. Funnily enough. We were having this discussion earlier, actually, Barbara and I, about what the social model means and what the medical model actually means, kind of as definitions as well as to us. What did we come up with now? I can't remember what we...
The medical model really is seeing dyspraxia in terms of a disorder. So in other words, it's something that's wrong. You know, it's regarding that you have something wrong with you. Yeah. So there are ways of mending it. You know, maybe if there's... Well, I think a medical model of any kind of disability is concerned about sort of trying to put it right.
Yeah.
Make,
almost to perhaps cure it in a way.
Yeah.
To phrase it in a rather crude way.
Yeah, very simplified, I would say, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Whereas obviously the social model is about kind of more society's acceptance of a different and actually, or lack of acceptance, I should say.
Really, the only thing, a social model of disability is when we are disadvantaged by circumstances, the environment, what have you. So if certain adaptations were made, I mean, if for example, you know, we were talking earlier about when I got really cross a while ago because I heard about houses that were being built and having light switches put in a sort of lower down so that people in wheelchairs can reach them. And there was a debate going on about that somewhere. I can't even remember where it was actually, but and the argument against doing that was because it would cost too much, because there'd be more wire needed. So I said, well, in that case, why don't you put them up where nobody can reach them? It would be even cheaper. So that's really a social model of disability, because you're disabling somebody by not having the facilities in place.
And actually, it's in society creating the disability rather than the issue that the person's got. And I mean, the point that Bob made about it costing too much, or what Bob picked up on, was surely the argument against that is, well, if you invested some time and money in making a disability friendly house, for want of a better term, I don't particularly like that term disability, but a disability friendly home, then surely that's cheaper in the long run, because you're then spending less money on adaptive aids, on having to adapt the home that's already built to the needs of a person in a wheelchair or a person with a sight impairment or whatever it may be. So actually it's cheaper in the long run to make it adaptive at the start, you know, right from the word go.
Yeah, it's about accommodating people's differences rather than making them stand out as differences. So, in other words, the disability wouldn't actually exist if these things were in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there would be no such thing as disability, would there?
There's always that debate about, I mean, obviously, it's when a person's got a condition, they've got a condition, and you know whether it's dyspraxia or whether it's whatever a person's got, that means that there's a difference between person A and person B. Person A has got dyspraxia and person B who hasn't. But I mean, that's perhaps a whole other video there, Barbara, for about cures. Should there be a cure for the condition? Would people take the cure for the condition? But just because we've got dyspraxia shouldn't mark us out as different in that sense. Yeah, our minds are different, our thought process might be different, but it doesn't mean that we would seek out a cure even if there was one. And actually, why should there be a cure? Surely it should be about society being adaptive enough to accommodate.
To accept the fact that
we are different
from most people.
Yeah. No, but then because we're neurodiverse, our brains are wired differently. That shouldn't make us different people.
Actually, this is a really good place, I think, to mention Helen.
Yes, I was going to say
Helen, thank you, Helen, who is on our Dyspraxia group. It's a Facebook group, just in case you haven't seen it. So please come along, join the group. We're a very friendly bunch, and we have some great discussions going.
Most of us are. I mean, some of us are
some of us are a bit, the kind of people who think that other people are.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Helen, who is in our group, came up with a fantastic analogy, and for dyspraxic people specifically, because she said it's kind of like having a hairdryer which you need to use in a European country, and to be able to do so, you need an adapter so you can plug it in, because the plugs are different, plug sockets are different. So, and then we decided that, well, the hairdryer, there's nothing actually wrong with the hairdryer, it's just that you need an adapter to make it work properly somewhere else. So you wouldn't throw out a perfectly functioning hairdryer if all you needed to do was get an adapter for it, and that's pretty much...
I mean, I think that's an absolutely perfect analogy.
Brilliant
and
analogy.
It's absolutely right. You know, at the moment, I think feel very strongly that society is designed... I mean, this isn't necessarily a negative thing to start with as such, but society is designed to the majority. Of course it is. I get that. I think it's fine to say we both get that, because, you know, the majority of people design society. That's fine, but society is designed by the majority almost at the exclusion of people who are in the minority. I'm not just talking about dyspraxics, I'm talking about whatever type of minority disability group that's out there, people in a wheelchair, whatever. So those people are disabled by the majority, consciously or unconsciously. And there's an argument that I've heard before that, you know, I'll just get on with it. You know, just you'll cope, you know, with or whatever. Well, yeah, okay, yes, we do cope because we always have coped, and we always do just get on with it. But actually, why should we? It's society the way it is because this is the way it's always been. But if society's always been this way, why did it have to be?
Yeah, maybe it's time for change.
Yeah. I'm all for tradition. I accept tradition, but there's tradition, and then there's just excluding people as a result of their issues, of their differences.
Yeah,
I should say. Issues is the wrong word, but I find that frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Absolutely, I feel the same way. But Helen's analogy really struck me as being so appropriate, because the hairdryer, you know, I see us all as hairdryers, and we should be demanding adapters. Yeah, we hairdryers should stick together.
Stand up for hairdryer rights. Power to the hairdryer.
It's true though, you wouldn't throw the hairdryer out, would you? Or you wouldn't write the hairdryer off.
Just for the sake of an adapter.
It needs an adapter. You wouldn't think twice about it. So if we had a social model of ability rather than a social model of disability, then I think we'd have adapters coming out of our ears.
I mean, I think that's the other thing, isn't it? It's ability versus disability. You hear the word disability, instantly you've got this assumption that, oh, that person's disabled, so they can't do as much as an able-bodied person.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about in the previous episode whether we consider ourselves disabled or not, and I mean, personally, I think it's fair to say we don't consider disabled. Under the terms of the Equality Act, yes, technically we could say that we're disabled. We're not. You know, we're just able-bodied in a sense as another person. We just need some adaptations to deal with certain things.
And that's only because society's been set up for people who are neurotypical.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think partly because it wasn't diagnosed for a long time, but also now that it is, why aren't we doing something about it? Why aren't differences being accepted more normally? You know, just part of life. You know, why are we putting into a box? Oh, they're disabled. Okay, they can go and do that thing over there. Well, no. What if we want to do the same thing as you, as a neurotypical person? Why can't we do the same thing as a neurotypical person? What is stopping us? Is it just society? In which case, shouldn't it be society that changes?
Yes. I mean, that's how I feel. You know that.
Why should we be expected to take a pill, or why? I'm getting very passionate about this, but why should it always be the person with a different ability having to make the change? Wouldn't society, in my opinion, be richer for having people with different abilities, different levels of expertise?
Yeah, exactly, because we all have strengths and weaknesses, and instead of, I think the medical model really focuses on the weaknesses rather than the strengths. It doesn't take into account the strengths. Whereas we obviously do have strengths, and it makes a lot more sense to be able to work to those, which we've said some of the
Oh, absolutely. Again, there's another episode that talks about the positive aspects of dyspraxia, and I think the positives far outweigh the negatives.
Yeah,
I really do.
Too.
And it frustrates me, as you say, that people focus on the negatives, that, you know, can't can't all 100% of the time walk in a straight line, or find it sometimes difficult to coordinate your food and your mouth, or whatever. Yeah, alright, sometimes I can't walk in a straight line, or sometimes I do have problems. So if you see me leaning forward, it's just to kind of wake my computer up again afterwards. That's why. I'm
it's so bored it's going to sleep.
It's going to sleep. Hopefully the audience aren't. But you know, if I so what if I can't always coordinate? I don't want adaptive cutlery. I don't want adaptive things. I want to be as normal in society as everyone else. I don't want to be given separate cutlery, separate shoes, separate this. I want to find that way for society to deal with me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So in other words, our environment needs to adapt to accommodate us.
Yeah.
Rather than us trying to change shape, which we can't do anyway. We're not shapeshifters.
No.
So yeah, we can't change to, and there's no reason at all why we should.
No.
Because it's a difference. It's not. It's only a disability if society is formed in such a way that it doesn't accommodate our peculiarities.
yeah, I mean peculiarities. Yeah, we're all peculiar in a way,
Exactly.
and I say that about neurotypical people as much as
absolutely.
We're all peculiar.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
But peculiarities being our own sort of ways of doing things, our own quirks and so on. And,
but then we've all got that, haven't we?
Exactly.
We've all got our own learning styles, our own delivery methods. Whether we've got a I'm starting to use that word now, but that disability or not, we've all got our own styles.
That's actually a very, very interesting point, because you mentioned learning styles, which are certainly taken into account as far as teacher training is concerned, that it's absolutely essential that you establish different people's learning styles and accommodate them.
Well, it doesn't happen, does it?
No, it doesn't. But learning styles being the main learning styles that tend to apply to neurotypical people. So why not take that a stage further and say, right, well, we learn differently. No, it's not necessarily kinetic, it's not necessarily...
No.
You know, but we still learn differently, so this needs to be taken into account. I think theoretically they do. There's a bit of lip service.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been a big discussion about this is what you should do to differentiate your class, or differentiate your material to suit your class. I mean, in practice, I remember my school days, and I know kids now that go to school, and it doesn't happen.
No.
It doesn't happen. You either fit into one of these boxes, or you don't fit at all. That's how it is a lot of the time, and I resent that. I mean, I've been an adult learner before, and you know, I've both of us have. We both are adults, and we're still categorised into boxes. You know, you will learn like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't learn like that. What?
I think the more noise we make about things like that, the better.
I think that's part of the reason we exist in the first place, is to try and make that noise. So not everything can or needs to be cured with a pill.
Right.
You know, I mean, if I'm always torn, because yes, I accept there are issues out there, differences out there who have severe health problems. The medical model is clearly the best model for a lot of these people, and actually, if you've got a complex health problem, then clearly the medical model is completely relevant. Yeah. But even then, I would say the social model can play a part, because we still have an issue in society when we've talked about communication before. If we want to communicate our needs and our desires and our wants, and we struggle to do that sometimes, well, society isn't set up to listen and comprehend us in a way that isn't normal to them. Yeah. So how are we going to get across if we need help or we need support?
I think that's the whole point. There shouldn't be any concept of normality.
No.
You know, in a truly accepting society, there would be no such thing as normality, because everybody's quirks, foibles, differences, whatever they may be, whether it's medically based or physically based or whatever, they would be accommodated properly. And there would be no normal, because we'd all be accepted as the individuals that we are.
I think the term normal is an insulting term, a frustrating one, and it needs to stop. You know, normal needs to be a personal thing rather than a societal thing, and until normal stops.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, because I know what's normal for me.
Yeah, but
so that's
But even within the spectrum of dyspraxia, what might be normal for you on your part of the spectrum might not be necessarily entirely normal. We might overlap, and we might have a sort of kind of agreement, but actually it might be a case of, well, even we're different because we're human beings, and of course we're different. And again, it's trying to get people to see past the label, say, oh, okay, well, you're all dyspraxic, so you're all going to think the same thing, you're all going to feel the same thing.
Yeah,
well,
which
no,
we know that's not the
which
case.
is complete rubbish, and anyone who thinks that needs a slap in the face, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I said that, and yes, I stand by it. But
a gentle slap.
A gentle slap, you know. Okay, yeah.
Contradiction in terms.
Yes. A gentle pat on the arm. No. But you know, all dyspraxics don't think the same, or feel the same, or have some level of dyspraxia in the way that all non-dyspraxics think and feel and experience life the same. So why can't normal be a personal thing rather than a societal thing?
That's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
So let's not stop the fight until
No.
that's what we get.
No. Dyspraxics unite.
Yes, and we will do away with normality.
Yeah.
And we'll all get our adapters.
Yes. Our hairdryer adapters. I do
Yes.
like that. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you very much, Helen. Yeah, that's brilliant.
And on that bombshell, I think we've kind of covered that quite well, haven't we?
I think so, yes.
Um,
If you have any comments, because we'd love to hear your comments, questions, or whatever, please come along and join our Dyspraxia group, which is in Facebook.
Just called Dyspraxia. Yeah.
And,
or you put comments below. Please feel free to subscribe and put comments below. But the main debate and discussion always happens on Facebook and social media, because that's where it's at. That's where the cool people hang out.
Oh, of course.
And us.
Yeah, and us as well.
Yeah.
they let us in.
Yeah, they let us in occasionally, once a day.
On a good day.
yeah, not many of them. Well, some people. Anyway, on that note, I've just insulted Barbara again, and she hasn't insulted me back, so even better.
I know.
I know.
Thrown you, hasn't it?
It has a little bit, to be fair. I'll suffer later. Thank you for watching. We look forward to kickstarting the debate a bit, and we will speak again very soon. Thank you.
Bye.